I mean, trends inform us, and I think trends can be very exciting. I think we still have to be selective. I think whatever we select, it needs to make our heart beat. That's the most important thing. But let's talk about some things that are really trending in design right now. So as I mentioned, we're informed by trend in a lot of different ways: magazines, television, movies, music, you name it. For instance, like last year in Vogue, or for the fellas, maybe GQ, style notes and trends included things like brutalist architecture or paper shades on lighting, even mentions of like neoclassicism, things that are frankly all very, very different. Ultimately, I think when you look at trends, we can still be selective of what it means. Like, let's take neoclassicism, for instance. I thought that one was a really left field thing from a trend point of view, but I think it speaks to tradition. I think it speaks to, that wanting to feel grounded. Tradition, we think of families, we think of longevity. I like to talk about roots down. I think, as we plant roots for our homes, something that lasts. So maybe there's a nod to that. Okay, paper shades on lighting. I think that speaks to wanting things that are softer, maybe not as harsh. It's not like glass or metal. I think it speaks to this cozy thing that we want to have in our lives. Wanting to feel comfortable. Brutalist architecture, again, very left field. But if you know things about brutalist architecture, it's very foundational. If you look at, let's say, there's a lot of use of concrete of all materials in brutalist architecture, but also concrete where they may press wood into it and give it a faux bois effect. And so it's actually a really interesting nod to like texture and tradition, even though it can have a very heavy modern feel to it. So, again, I think that speaks to this really interesting wanting to feel very grounded and solid kind of vibe. We want something to rely on. Then of course there's a whole host of colors that are out there. Earth tones have been very popular. Again, I think that speaks to, we had to live inside for 2 years, and I think we all discovered that a lot of our environments were really sterile. And frankly, we were living in our gray trend. And by the time the pandemic rolled around, that just felt like living in a doctor's office. So, we were noticing gray leaving the scene. That was already going on before the pandemic. But I think post-pandemic, those desires for nature, natural colors, forest greens and sky blues, water teals and desert mauves, and things that are a little windblown, softer versions of those colors, not so saturated. I think that, again, giving us a sense of comfort, a sense of grounding, and again, environments where we really want to be ourselves and then have those people that are most important there with us.